Meet the GOP senator who wants to bridge the Obamacare divide. Why do they hate her? And quote, I think it was indefensible and undermines America and APO's standing in the world and threatens the ability of humanity to solve the climate crisis in time, end quote, Gore said. AP photo Al Gore, Trump and APO's Paris decision and APO's reckless and APO's, but WE and APO's LL go on without him. Former Vice President Al Gore on Sunday called President Donald Trump's decision to exit the Paris Climate Agreement of and quote reckless and quote choice that undermines America and APO's standing in the world, but he said American business leaders and governors will move forward and reduce carbon emissions without Trump. And quote, I think it was reckless. I think it was indefensible and undermines America and APO's standing in the world and threatens the ability of humanity to solve the climate crisis in time, end quote, Gore told host Jake Tapper on CNN's end quote State of the Union. End quote, the decision was a terribly mistaken decision, but in the aftermath of that decision, we need to move forward regardless of what he decides. End quote. Gore, who since losing his run for the presidency in 2000 has become a major advocate for fighting climate change, added, and quote, and the good news is that the American people are going to provide leadership, even if President Trump will not provide leadership. End quote. Citing the governors, mayors, and business leaders who have stood by the climate agreement since Trump announced the NATO and APO's exit on Thursday, Gore said, we are going to see continued reductions in emissions in the USWE and APO's going to meet the commitments under the Climate Pact in Paris, regardless of what President Trump does, and so WE and APO's seeing a lot of progress. End quote, the Paris Agreement was really historic, end quote, he said. End quote, but it laid the foundation for the faster progress that's needed in order to solve the climate crisis in time. And we could have faster progress with presidential leadership, but WE and APO's going to keep moving forward regardless of President Trump. End quote. More than 190 countries signed onto the Paris Accord, which was negotiated in 2015 to set targets for decreasing carbon emissions to fight man-made climate change. Of all the nations that took part in the process to reach the agreement, only two others, Syria and Nicaragua, rejected it. Trump and his Environmental Protection Agency Administrator, Scott Pruitt, have described their decision to abandon the agreement as necessary for protecting American jobs. Pruitt reiterated that reasoning in an interview on NBC's Meet the Press with Chuck Todd on Sunday, describing the decision as not political. End quote. The source for energy and environment news weekday mornings, in your inbox. By signing up, you agree to receive email newsletters or alerts from Politico. You can unsubscribe at any time. End quote. This is a decision that was right for this country from a jobs perspective, an economy perspective, and an environmental perspective, end quote, Pruitt said, adding, end quote, Paris represents a bad deal for this country. End quote. Gore, though, said the decision made little sense, given that the emission targets for each country are voluntary, and that he had thought it was possible that Trump would not go through with pulling out of the pact. Gore met with Trump during the presidential transition at the request of Ivanka Trump, who favored staying in the Paris Agreement. While Gore would not go into details about their discussion, he said none of it would surprise you. I did think there was a chance that he would come to his senses and not make the decision that he announced this past week, Gore said. Gore has spoken with Ivanka Trump about climate change since their meeting, he told Tapper, though not since Trump's announcement last week. Missing out on the latest scoops? Sign up for Politico Playbook and get the latest news every morning in your inbox. I fought for a better Israel than this, what Donald Trump doesn't get about Pittsburgh, how the Middlebury riot really went down.